All right, so first and foremost, Melty Blood type Lumina. Pick any character you want. Any character. All these characters are good, viable. They have something that makes them unique, and they all stand out. Like in Melty Blood, no two characters play alike. Oh, you got 13? Nice. No two characters play alike. All these characters play different. So always go with your gut and pick who you want in this game. You don't have to pick a top tier to win. You could pick the lower tier characters. Some people put Noelle pretty low, some people put Saber low, but you can still win with those characters. As you just saw, Kiri literally just got third at Evo. Shout outs to Kiri with Noelle. So you can definitely play who you like. There are difficulties to these characters, so I'll go kind of through and talk about, you know, the difficulties of the characters, like who I feel is easy, intermediate, or advanced. That is how I'll do this. Koma's difficulty is barely having an air game. Yeah, Koma's air game is kind of whack. Okay, PCL. Now, PCL is in a weird spot. I think that she's probably intermediate simply because she is awkward. She doesn't play like other characters. Azusa 39. Thank you for that follow. I think that she's intermediate. She doesn't play like any other characters. Her air game, she has really good air to airs, but the one thing about her is like everything else is different. She has a jumping B attack that knocks you down that she can OTG from. So she has a lot of unique interactions. She has the most range in the game. Jong Hong, thank you for that follow. Welcome to the stream. She has a lot of range, the most range in the game, so she can hit you from barely anywhere on the screen. Her mid-range dominance is like the best in the game for sure. And she also has a low unblockable, so yeah, she's very unique. Intermediate for sure. Argument is a beginner's character. Like, she's definitely a beginner. Now, mind you, all these characters have very optimal stuff that they can do. They all have optimal stuff that they can do that are hard. Like, some characters do definitely have like super optimal combos that are hard, right? However, that's kind of not where I'm going with this, unless all of your B&Bs are like hard. But Arcu is definitely a beginner character, very easy to understand, very straightforward, just has good everything. Doesn't have a weakness, honestly, because I wouldn't even use that she has to get in. I mean, that would be the only thing, but her walk speed, I mean, her run speed is like super fast. So she can get to you in like a flash. Like, she's really good. Very dangerous character, definitely a top tier character. And once you do get optimal with this character, she hurts. Even though B&B's hurt. Arcuette has conversions that I don't understand from her 4C to JC. Loner, I'll probably show you that B&B. I'll probably pick her to show things off. So yeah, beginner character for sure. Akia is like, I will say this, I think Akia is advanced simply because of the way she is set up. I think Akia is more of an advanced character because a lot of her stuff is not necessarily hard to do, but because before the patch, because once the patch comes out, like, she'll be able to stop shield like really easily. Right now you have to have like perfect frame throws and stuff of that nature, but her base kit might not be the easiest to understand for some people. So I definitely rank her probably like advanced. Like you definitely have to know a bit of the game to play her. Then we have Shiki Tono. Shiki, definitely a solid character. Definitely a beginner character. Has just very good special moves, very good normals, good rebeats, good air to airs, all of that good stuff. Like Shiki is just the basic. Shiki is Melty Blood. Shiki is the basic. Pinwheel gonna absolutely blow up low shield. It'll be more like you'll be able to press like her 5B charge is gonna be like super good against low shield now. Like she has a lot of options to blow up low shield, but Akia's command grab, it's not used much, but I definitely think it's underrated. I think people should use it more just for the threat. The range on it is pretty bad, but it's definitely one of those things. It's still a threat. Like if she's right on top of you, like it could be used as a mix-up. Most people use her level 3. So yeah, Shiki, very basic character, very solid, very straightforward. Hisui Kohaku, definitely advanced on the advanced end. To play them optimally, you have to know both characters because you do have a tag mechanic, so you can always switch. If you feel like switching, you can always switch, which makes them a very unique duo. On top of they have tag team moves that you have to learn how to use. So they are definitely more on the advanced tip. Think too much. Thank you for that follow. Welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, because I got different colors on them. CL. I think her base is beginner friendly. Her base plays, she got a flash kick. She has arguably one of the best projectiles in the game. Her base kit is very basic, like of what she can do. Like once you dig a little deeper into the game, she plays a little different, but base wise I definitely think she's more beginner friendly. Like you could get on her and have a good time and play. Playing after the update and auto combo system kind of messed with me. Oh, you didn't like the auto combos? What's good, Fifth? Arc Stream, thank you for that resub. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a minute. With the Noel. Appreciate that resub. Welcome everybody. That's 65 now. I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to put the goal up there. Probably not today, but I'll put it up tomorrow. Is Alco easy to learn in this game? No, she's not. She's by far the hardest character in the game. She's really cool, but she's definitely the hardest character in the game. But yeah, I think CL is basic. And this is just getting into the game. Like if you're getting into the game, this is kind of what I'm going for. Like if this character, because of course CL has some hard stuff, but if you can definitely get on CL and kind of understand her kit of throwing projectiles and, you know, just playing neutral in general. Mario, I think Mario is like intermediate. Mario is around the intermediate because you definitely have to know how to use your nuns and pressure. And Mario is a very heavy set play character, so you have to know how to like set up a lot of different situations. Mario is definitely like a more intermediate character, I think. You definitely just can't get on the character and go ham. Like you actually have to know what you're doing with Mario. Dead Apostle is like, she's like medium. I almost want to put her advanced because if you don't know how to do the Tiger Knee combo that she has, which is not easy, if you don't know how to do that, then she's definitely like an advanced character, because that's kind of like her kit. Like, you need that combo. If you don't have that combo, you're missing out on her core gameplay. So maybe I'll leave her at intermediate. Yeah, I'll leave her at intermediate. Or maybe no, I'll leave her at advanced. I think like, to actually use her, because you need that combo. She has other combos, but they don't really lead to the situations. So I think somebody wanting to pick her up would learn that combo first, like her main Oki combo. Vlov is like intermediate, because the thing about Vlov, you have to have very good space control. On top of, you have to know how to keep the opponent out for a long period of time, make them make mistakes. On top of, you have to have very good defense, because Vlov is a very tall character. So Vlov eats a lot of mix-ups that he shouldn't, and takes a lot of things that he shouldn't because he's so tall. And you have to have just very good defense, because this character doesn't have an uppercut. So yeah, definitely like an intermediate character. You can't just get on Vlov as a beginner and just kind of like play. I mean, you can, but it's definitely gonna take more of an intermediate. Like, you're gonna have to play this character and get used to the situations that are at hand. Roa is definitely intermediate. Roa has a lot going on with like the neutral of just like projectiles in general. Roa has some of the best projectiles in the game, and very hard to block this character too. A really quick IED for like pressure. So this character can kind of be problematic in the right hands. Like, if you're looking to get into the game and you like Roa, I would definitely say watch Lucy and Moai. Lucy NA, Moai Japan. Lucy, she does really good with this character. Really good. Yeah, Hyde is godlike too. It's a couple of good players on a lot of these characters. I kind of just named the first name that came to mind. But just in general, Lucy is, I feel like, the best Roa in NA. But definitely, you can always learn something from other players. Like, don't get it twisted. Just because one player might be better, that doesn't mean anything. And I don't even think it's by that much, because Hyde is definitely one of the best Roas in NA free as well. So Coma is a beginner character. Super armor, command grabs, more armor. Like, this character literally is Armor the character. So definitely any person that plays fighting games understands when you turn red and start flashing, you're literally the Incredible Hulk and you can just press buttons. So definitely beginner friendly. This character definitely has some advanced stuff when you start dissecting. After the patch, I think the character's strong right now, but after the patch, I think the character just gets stronger. And depending on the new moves that this character gets, kind of depends, right? Living tank. So yes, beginner. Noelle is intermediate. Her base play is very basic. However, she's a resource character. She's very reliant on her keys, and she has a limited amount of keys, and she's also very resource heavy with Moondrive. Like, she can cash out a lot of damage if you utilize Moondrive correctly. So I think she's a like intermediate character, but her base kit is definitely very basic. But if you want to kind of like play her, you have to understand that you just can't throw keys willy-nilly because you'll run out. And that's one of her main neutral tools. Hardest character in the game. Y'all love the drip. Alco is the most drippy. Hardest character in the game by far. What makes her so hard? Negative edge. Negative edge on her is like this is not Swiftmaster, right? Swiftmaster has negative edge, but Swiftmaster's negative edge is very easy. This is not so easy. You definitely have to put a lot of work into doing negative edge. It's all about muscle memory. The more you train your hands and fingers and all that good stuff, you'll get better at the muscle memory of her negative edge orbs, and you'll be okay. But it takes time. It definitely takes time. If you're not used to a negative edge character, it's gonna take, I'd probably say, like a week to get very comfortable to where you could do other actions, and or longer to where you can do other actions and still fight. It's playing the piano with Alco at times, in my opinion, but that's because I have no execution. Yeah, shout outs to the Alco players. Alco is like really sick, but definitely advanced. She's the hardest character in the game by far right now. I think I put this character at one point in time intermediate when I used to play her, but I think that was cap. This character is definitely easy. This character is Miyako is literally the gorilla of the game. Like, she just goes in, like, she fights. Now, me personally, I think the playstyle with her is a little more, you're supposed to play a little more slow and, you know, patient and kind of like whiff punishy. But generally it's a go in playstyle. She's very basic. Everything will make sense to you when you play the character. Her limbs are stubby, but she's very straightforward and to the point. She's a rushdown character with a lot of options to open you up. A lot of good options. She has a combo throw. It did get nerfed, but maybe it'll get buffed again in this patch. Lunchables Whoop Ass Edition. So Miyako, beginner friendly, fun character, very fun character, cool character, by the way. Baji Kwan is a very cool fighting style anyway. Kohaku Solo. Kohaku is definitely beginner friendly. She's straight to the point, plant Oki, and make you make a decision. Straight to the point. The best JC in the game. I think her and PCL are tied for the best JCs in the game. Best JC in the game. Ridiculous. And just in general, like I said, straightforward. JC, plant Oki, and yeah, every combo of Kohaku's pretty much is the exact same route. And she does a lot of damage. So it's not like you have to go out of your way learning all of these combos. Is it better than Sabers? Yeah, it's way better than Sabers. It's much better than Sabers. Sabers is good, but it's not even comparable to Kohaku's. But yeah, beginner friendly for sure. Beginner friendly Saber as well. Very easy to pick up and play. She's basically Melty blood. She's very solid, straightforward. If you like solid, straightforward characters with like little to no mix, she has some situations, but she's like, just, I'm gonna beat the player. Better than Arch JC? Yeah, it's better than Arch JC. Arch JC is good, but when we started talking about like charge JCs, it's crazy. Better than entire characters. Yeah, it really is. It really is. What's up, Raiden? Is it Raiden or Raiden? Because some people literally, it'll be like the same spelling, but it'll be Raiden, and some people are like Raiden from Mortal Kombat. So it's like, if it's Raiden, Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, Kohaku's JC is actually ridiculous. I keep hearing a mystery. I'm about to just call you Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Okay. What's up, Shaku? Okay, so yes, beginner friendly, Melty Blood the game. She just plays solid. If you like those type of characters, Saber's the one for you. Hisui is definitely intermediate. She's a block string heavy character, block string pressure character. So you definitely have to be familiar with a lot of her block strings, and she's big on long combo structure. She has really good hit confirms. Raid. I like the bug spray. I like that. Really built on pressure block strings with dust. Blocking Hisui harder than college. So this character, yeah, you have to get familiar with her special moves and how to build block strings with her, because she's big on that. Like super big on that. Work? I actually think that Work is probably advanced. I think she's advanced because her zoning is not like, you have to have very good space control with this character. Like, it's not like you can just zone. She's really cool. I think you have to have very, very, very good space control because it's not auto. On top of, I think that just in general, when you play her, some of her moves won't make sense at the beginning. Like, some of her moves won't actually make sense, but they have like different usages. So you definitely have to get used to this character. I definitely think she's more advanced. You used to see her at the beginning of the game a lot, and then she fell off. You said easier at lower level? I could definitely see that too, because I could even see like even dropping her down a tad, like to be intermediate. But it's kind of like what you said, because at a higher level, yeah, she's definitely like crazy. I feel like if somebody wanted to play her, they could, but getting into the game, yeah, she might be kind of intermediate, but once you know more about the game, advance, because her optimization is actually crazy. All right, so we went through who's basic, who's easy, who's hard, all that good stuff. Now we'll just kind of talk about the game, the actual game. All right, so Melty Blood. Melty Blood is all about the movement. All about the movement. There's so many different movement options in this game. First and foremost, when you super jump in this game, you automatically go forward. Like, you know, some games where you super jump, but you can like super jump straight up. That does not exist in this game. Like, when you super jump, you go straight forward. However, you can always jump again. So you can jump, super jump, and jump like straight up. You can jump forward. You can jump back. You have a lot of options. Lots of options. What's up, Blackberry? Yeah, the update is gonna be really good. So when it comes down to like super jump is going to be a huge part of the movement in this game, just in general, because it's going to be your main outlet. Like, in this game, you can move before the round. Like, so when it says, you know, round one, fight, you can move, and that movement is super important of how you position yourself on the screen. You could run under somebody, you can jump over them, you could just jump in place if you want. And there's another important part of movement that I want to go through, which is drift. Now, if you play Dragon Ball, you're probably familiar with drift. So how many Dragon Ball players do I have in my chat right now? Do I have any Dragon Ball players in my chat? Some Dragon Ball players? Okay, so we got some true DBZ master. Of course, you you play some Dragon Ball. Kosaka, Spectra. Okay, so we got some DBZ players. Only BBCF. I respect that. So in Dragon Ball, you can drift as well, and that's the reason why I'm bringing it up. Drifting is very important in this game. What's up, Flan? Good morning. Drifting is very important because you can literally decide how far you go and where you go. So right now I'm jumping straight up. If you tilt the stick in whichever direction you want to go, you can go that way. How do I beat Vlog without thinking too hard? Man, you got to think a lot to beat Vlog. Mirror Vlog, I like that. Okay, so drifting is very important because it decides where you're going to end up. So in a lot of situations, if I'm right here and I'm neutral jumping, I'm not going to go anywhere. However, if I drift, I can actually make things look a little more ambiguous. You see that? I drifted so little that I landed in front. And now I'm going to land behind. So you can make ambiguous setups like this. Anytime you throw somebody, if it leads to a hard knockdown, you could potentially like drift over them and get a mix-up. Some characters are going to get good mix-ups. Some characters have to do like supers, but we'll get into that. So drifting, super important in Melty Blood. Super important. You always want to make sure that you are altering your movement in Melty Blood. Always alter your movement. So don't always just super jump at somebody and jump forward at them. That's not a good approach at all. So never always do this. Like, you're back here, you do this. Let's go right about here. Don't always do that approach, right? So sometimes you want to bait a person. This game has aerial footsies. So Shiki might jump up. Let's say Shiki does JA, right? If I jump at him, let's say I jump and I try to commit. Perfect, right? So Shiki jumps at me, right? Shiki jumps at me, and this is where the air footsies come involved. Shiki's jumping at me, and I'm jumping at Shiki. So we both meet in the middle. I got hit. So you can look at it two different ways. Either A, I might have pressed my button slow, and he hit me, or he might have a better angle than me. Because every button has a different angle, as you see. Like JB is like super good, right? It's right above her head, so it's a really good angle. It's pretty fast, and it's very hard to beat out. And it's double hit. You can't beat double hit. Her JC, look at the range on this. Like, look at it. This move is actually one of the best moves in the game. This move right here is literally one of the best moves in the game. So if I have some Arcuate players in the chat, use this move. Use this move because it's really good. Her JA is angled a little bit downward. Still a good aerial button though. Her aerial approach is one of the best in the game. Easy. One of the best in the game. But back to the topic at hand. So air footsies. In this game, you definitely want to have an active button out before the opponent. Like that. That was active before the opponent. But as you saw, Shiki's JA has a very good angle. Very good angle. So it's kind of hard to challenge in the air for a lot of characters. However, some characters can challenge right there. But with aerial footsies, let me explain ground footsies. Most of y'all play a lot of fighting games, right? So y'all kind of understand the concept of somebody maybe doing a move like that. That move is really good at neutral. Just throwing it out. It goes really far. It hits up backs. It can actually anti-air you. If you jump late like that, like it can actually anti-air you out of the air. You didn't know JC was good? Yeah, JC is really good. So because of this, right? You see a move like this. You want to find a button that's gonna reach, right? Like that. This game says punish. Some games, some modern games do not have that feature, but a lot of games are starting to implement that, where it actually tells you that was a punish. That's really good, especially for beginners, to know that, hey, I actually hit this character in recovery and they could do nothing about it. So because of this, right, this is how grounded Footsies evolve. Like, you can even do stuff like this, stuff like that, jumping at somebody's recovery frames, like stuff like that is like super good in fighting games in general. But this game actually plays on the ground and in the air, and the aerial Footsies is one of the most important parts about Melty Blood, and it has always been in Melty Blood, is the jumping neutral. So back to Shiki. So like, let's say Shiki does JA, right? Let's make him do this and then that, right? I want to jump with a slower button like that, right? So in that exchange, Shiki won that exchange, right? So now my answer is going to be like, hey, like, what are my options? Well, in Melty Blood type Lumina, you definitely have a good amount of options to stop an aerial approach. One of them being jumping shield. Very risky if you are not reacting. I repeat, very risky if you are not reacting. That would be a read. So if somebody's very predictable, that is when you would shield that in the air, or something you can really react to, but you would not just go around doing this, because what's going to happen if you do that, you have landing frames where you cannot block. There are landing frames where you cannot block. There's nothing you can do about that too. When you whip that shield, you are vulnerable. That's why you wouldn't want to just jump around just doing air shield, because you can actually get punished for that, and depending on the character, you're gonna lose a lot of life for that. So that is an option, but it should not be your first option. So what else can you do? You can either A, try to put something active out there. Like, you see how active this move is? It's just on the screen. So let's make Shiki do this again. So the JA is actually hitting in between my beam. You saw that clash, right? Clashes do happen a lot in this game. They are reworking slight things about the clash system in the update. However, it wouldn't affect that part. It wouldn't actually affect that. Yeah, like the shielding is gonna always be a risk somewhat, especially if you're doing it in the air. It's like a huge risk if you're doing it in the air. So this is a very active attack right here. Super active. So active that we clash. That time I'm actually just counter hitting Shiki before the move goes active. So when two moves in this game are active, generally if they're both active and they hit on that frame, they are going to clash. They are going to clash. So that is why it's a common thing to see like that clash situation, because both of these moves are like super active. So once a clash occurs, there's so many outcomes that can happen, because you can actually like clash and then like uppercut, you can clash in Moondrive, you can clash and then shield. So many options off of clash. So you just have to pick and choose what is the best option for that situation. What's my current thoughts on Saber? I think Saber is a very solid character. Definitely on the lower end of the spectrum, but I think she's still like super good character. Like, she's solid. If you want to watch any sabers, you should definitely go watch Infinity. Infinity is not only one of the best sabers in A, Infinity is one of the best sabers in the world. So when it comes down to active frames are just gonna make things clash in this game. So clashes do occur a lot. Like a lot. But like I said, you can pick different options outside of the clash. Angela's Core, thank you for that follow. I'm trying to make it clash again. Like stuff like that, like cool interactions like that are possible in this game because of clash. But I want to show you something about jumping normals. So you see how when I press this JA, I can actually do an action. I can jump again. I can dash. I can moon drive. I can basically do whatever I want after this whips. But what happens if I press a jump B or a jump C? As you see, I can't do anything else. Why is that? This game locks you out of movement options from JBs and JCs. Can't do anything else. With A's, you can move. That's why JAs are probably your best option in the air, because if you miss it, you're not in trouble as much as if you miss a B or a C. If you miss a A, you can do another action. How saw your tweet about ignoring tier lists, but what are your thoughts on Arc, Alco, and Akia? Arc is definitely a top 5 character in my opinion. Like, she's very strong. Alco could potentially be a top 5 character. She just has a lot going on. She hasn't fully developed yet in the right hands. Like, she hasn't fully developed yet, but she's a potential candidate for top 5. She could definitely be up there. Akia I think is actually slept on. I think Akia is actually pretty strong. I actually think Akia is strong. I just think that she's underexplored. I don't think anybody has like tapped her potential yet. Excited for Neko Arc? Oh yeah, Neko Arc is gonna be pretty hype. So that's the one thing about this game. When you JA, you can move, so you're not like unsafe. Blues Glue, thank you for that follow. That sounded like Blues Clues when I said that. So JA definitely is less committal. You're not committing as much. JBs and JCs, you are committing, so make sure when you press these buttons that you know the opponent will be in the air, or you might be able to put them in a block string if you land, which is super important. Okay, so like I said before, you can also just whip punish aerial buttons. So generally the person that jumps first would be at an advantage, right? You would think. However, the person that jumps first can actually just get whiff punished out the sky. Simple as that. When a person commits with a button, you can just jump with your button late and you'll hit them. Free punish. Simple as that. So when you think about it, you don't always have to be the aggressor. You can actually wait and take your turn later than the actual aggressor and still get a hit. Simple as that. So now that we know that exists, right? That is how you play the aerial game. So maybe Shiki, you know, Shiki has been committing all game to literally super jump JA. So now the Shiki has adapted, right? The Shiki doesn't want to do that anymore. Now the Shiki does this. And guess what I do? I think the Shiki's gonna approach me. So guess what I do? I miss. That is Melty Blood neutral. It's all about faking your opponent out in the air and taking your turn. So like movement is the most important aspect of this game. I cannot stress it enough. It's so many different movement options that you can do on top of drifting that you can alter your movement to get the type of offense that you want. Because I can literally super jump, double jump, and then dash and come down with pressure. But the Shiki doesn't know how I'm going to be moving in the air, so that always adds that second layer to the movement of this game. Because, like, I don't know how the Shiki's going to move. I don't know when the Shiki's going to approach me. The Shiki might just back up. Might just do that, reset neutral, right? So I try to hit him, I miss. Because Shiki backed up and now I'm whiff punished because I committed. Or I miss and then I reset neutral. This is the entire game. It's all about knowing how to move, baiting your opponent. And honestly, I don't know how many people know about this. If you super jump, double jump fast enough, it'll almost look like a short hop. Like that. Did you see that? Y'all see that movement? That is very, very high level movement. And anybody can do this movement. Literally, all it is down, up, and then you press up as fast as possible. You want it to be as low as possible. And look at that. Once people see that super jump, sometimes they think that you are going to approach, but you can also just jump in place and drift. To be honest, I feel like after the shield changes in the next patch, Akia will be top tier. Hey, I mean, that actually could be true. Akia definitely, it could definitely be a thing because her, like I said, these type of moves, any charged attack is going to beat low shield. Akia has charge 5B, so that's going to be very strong in destroying low shield. Like super strong. I think a lot of characters will move around differently once the patch drops, like on the tier wise. So movement, very important in Melty Blood, very important. But I want to get into the second most important part about Melty, and I think this is the part that everybody learns late, like very late into the game, if you're not like familiar with, I guess, with some French bread games. Rebeats. Rebeats. This is super important. Super, super important. Rebeats are super important. Alrighty. Rebeats. We're going to talk about rebeats. Now, the concept of a rebeat is you can go any Gatling, any direction. You can go BCA. ABC is very staple. That's just in fighting games, and a lot of fighting games in general is going ABC, right? ABC. ABC. However, in Melty Blood, you can go backwards. You can go CBA. You can even go BAC. And also, not even just that, it gets a little more in depth in the sense that you can do this with crouching normals and standing normals. So you're not limited to anything in this game. And this, I wanted to go over this part because for anybody getting into the game and wanting to really understand what is Melty Blood and like, hey, like what's actually going on blockstring wise, right? Is so many options that you can create with rebeats. So you might see, like in fighting games, you might see in any game with rebeats where a person will do like something like that. That C, B, A down A, or 2A if you are familiar with the notations. I can explain notations if anybody is like not familiar with notations, but it would be 5C, B, A, 2A. So a person would say, why are you doing that 2A, right? You are doing that 2A to cancel the frames of recovery. Because like, let's say I just press this, right? Like if I just press this, I'm gonna be mad unsafe. Just in general, like that's a very unsafe situation that you don't want to put yourself in. However, I can cancel the recovery just by whipping like a 2A or a 5A. You see that? If I just let that rock, I could be unsafe. However, with that, and now look at the pressure. Look at the pressure now that exists just because I'm like canceling the recovery of my sweep. So the cool thing about this is any character can do this. Every character in the game can do this. 5As and 2As rebeats were plus like in CC. Oh, I didn't even know they were plus in CC. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, most rebeats in this game are negative or low minus, like around -1, -2. Most are like super low minus, but like that's really big when it comes down to your pressure. And if you want to play Melty Blood, pressure is a must. Like you need to understand your block strings and how to utilize the best block strings. For anybody that's a beginner getting into the game, I suggest keeping it very simple. ABC, CBA. Go backwards, go forward. For anybody starting off, that is the best way to get familiar with your strings. That is when you start adding in different things. Like you could do C, B, A, 2A. Very simple. After that, add in a throw. After that, add in an IAD. Stuff like that, right? Add in a jump. Add in a jump, add in a throw, add in different layers, right? You can even, if you play Miyako, you can even add in an armor attack. So you'll probably do something like this and then armor attack. Like if you feel like somebody's gonna swing late, do the armor attack. Stuff like that is like really cool, because you can alter your string however you want to do. Every character's rebeats are going to be different. They are going to alter. Like something like this. You see Kohaku's completely different from Miyako's. With Miyako, I can do CBA. With Koha, if I do CBA immediately, that's what it gives me. With Miyako, that 5A does not whiff. So you have to lab your character. Why do I hear P4A music? It's modded. Like one of my favorite themes, I guess this theme. So everybody's rebeats are going to differ. But you have to, like, whatever character you play, you have to familiarize yourself with what option is the best for me, because everybody's rebeat is going to be a little different. However, you can always do the same, like, stuff like that. And that's one thing I will say. Let me get into the auto combo thing, because some people might start messing up their rebeats. They might accidentally double tap something and go into an auto combo series. Anytime you do an auto combo series, you can also just do a special move that might jail, meaning that a person cannot like shield or press a button. With Miyako, like that jails. So like if you get stuck in an auto combo, You can just super. I mean, you can super, or you can actually just do a special move that's safe. Because some people, when they're learning Rebeats, they get stuck in auto combos. Because they might double tap on accident. They might do something like that and get stuck in an auto combo. If you do that, just do a move. Stuff like that. Just make it safe. So Rebeats, definitely important. Add Rebeats to your game. Understand your Rebeats. Right here, I'm just hitting 2C, 2A. Now, a person might ask, what is the point of a Rebeat? I will show you. We're gonna make Kohaku mash 2A immediately. When she has a chance, 2A is gonna come out immediately. So no matter what I do, she's gonna 2A. This is why you want to Rebeat. Look at the range, look at the spacing at which she was pushed back. Look at that. You see that? You see that, right? The spacing that every Rebeat leaves you at is different, right? But sometimes you want to pick a Rebeat for different purposes, whether it be a frame trap, whether it be the spacing that it leaves you at is a pretty optimal spacing for your character, that you can actually hit them for doing something that they have no business doing. Just like that. So spacing is very important on these Rebeats. So Miyako, one of her best Rebeats is definitely going to be 5C or like 2C space. You see that? Same thing. So that is going to be like super important for every character. They can space themselves right after. Just like that. So now my opponent is not going to want to press a button after that Rebeat. That's going to be very, very common when you see people rebeating, because you never know when somebody's going to rebeat, right? You never know unless they're super predictable with their options. That's the only way you're going to know when somebody's actually going to rebeat. So you have to pay close attention when you're fighting your opponent, when they like to stop their pressure. It's not always good to challenge a rebeat. Sometimes just blocking is better, because you make your opponent overextend, which can work out in your favor. However, what I will say is, if somebody's very predictable, like I'm fighting a Miyako, they always do this rebeat right here. They always do it. Let's do that one. They always do this rebeat. Always. Once we get here, me as the defender, I'm going to want to press a button. And I'm going to do something that's fast enough to hit her before she's going to hit me. Right? So like, let's say like that. I'm getting hit now, because I know that my opponent is always stopping at that 5A. Right? Right. So now I have an option. My option would be, hey, like, look, I know they're going to press a button, so I'm going to wait on it. Like that, because I know they're going to press a button. Because what else option do they have? It's either going to be block, button, shield, jump. It's going to be something, right? It's a lot of options that you can choose after that rebeat. It could even be backdash. Now my pressure is gone, right? Because I knew that they were going to rebeat, I backdashed out of the pressure. rotating your options out of those situations is like super important. You always want to rotate your options. You never want to like stay predictable, but that is also why you want to do different rebeat strings, different strings that alter timing. Also, if you know somebody's like mashing, you can just put frame traps in your strings. Let's make her mash again. Just like that. Alter the timing of your block strings. Alter the timing of your block strings so you can get frame traps. So while you're rebeating, sometimes put gaps in your strings. Altering that is like super important because some people mash, some people shield, but throws beat shield, and with the update coming, a lot more things are going to be crouch shield, so you really don't have to worry about that as much. But for now, it's more important to just layer your block strings so you know what you're trying to get out of it. Like if you're trying to throw Larbia? Liberia? Hopefully, I'm almost certain I'm like butchering that. But thank you for that follow. I'm so sorry for butchering the name. I think Parsa just... Did Parsa just follow? My follow alerts are so like... Yeah, Parsa did follow. Thank you, Parsa. Hey, Execution, I'm good, I'm good. Just going over Melty Blood for all my beginners, all my people trying to come back. So I think that covers Rebeats. If anybody has any questions in the chat, I would love to go over it. Ask questions. This is what this stream is for. So like, ask questions. If you have questions, ask them. I will answer them. If we do hit 80 subs, I will do a player tier list of Melty Blood. How do you condition opponents? It's a lot of different ways to condition opponents. But it depends on the type of opponent you are fighting, because some people are shield happy, some people are button friendly, some people jump a lot, but some characters in this game can like do true block strings. So conditioning in this game, especially with characters that have like long block strings, like this character for instance, like all of this you have to block. Even if I do something like this, like all of that pressure, the only way you can block that is if you're just a really, really good player at the game. That's very hard to block. All of that pressure is very hard to block. Like, it's not something that you could just block, you know? Like, you have to definitely have very good defense. Minty FGC, thank you for that follow. All right, so what I wanted to talk about next is like the mechanics of the game. Yeah, like this color, the right spell, thank you for that follow. This color definitely reminds me of, like I said, Marvel 2, because it's like a wacky color. It's not my favorite modded color that I have. Hold on, I'm about to go pick my actual color. Okay. Can I be godlike? You most... Oh, how can I be godlike? Play a lot. Practice. Research. Watch videos of your characters. Study the game. Like, it's so many ways that you can get good. It's a lot of footage out there. Like, hopefully you watched Evo. Evo was really good. You like this color? Do all characters have the same wake-up timing? I think in this game, yes. I know in the older game, from what I've heard, characters had different wake-up timing. I think for this game, anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think everybody wakes up on the same frame in this game. How should I approach air footsies? Hey, what's up, Langston? Air footsies, I actually like covered that, but since you probably just got here, I'll kind of like briefly talk about it again. Basically, air footsies is either A, you're the initiator, or you're not, right? So if somebody jumps at you with a move, like let's say somebody jumps at you with that, right? And you get fatal, you can always jump after them. So you don't always have to try to be in the air to beat them out. Like, that's not what you have to do. Sometimes you can actually just wait. And waiting is good because you can always whiff punish them when they jump at you. Unless they use different movement types, which I kind of went over the aerial movement of this game. There's drift, there's super jump, double jump. You can ID backwards, you can ID forward. You can just drift backwards. Like, you don't even have to approach the opponent at all. You can just like bait with movement. Baiting with movement is a huge part of aerial footsies in general. So like, you definitely sometimes want to just move backwards to try to bait your opponent into moving at you, and then maybe you can get a opening. However, like I said, sometimes when somebody jumps at you, you want to jump late. Look at that reward. Just because I waited, I was able to hit Alco's recovery and punish her. Like, little things like that are like super important in aerial footsies. So when you jump with JAs, they're not hard committal because you can move after them. You can double jump, you can ID. You always have an option after an A, but after B's and C's, you don't. So like, that's the biggest thing. Grounded normals are air unblockable, yes. Yes. Like, if Alco jumps at me, she cannot block that. That is guaranteed. That's another big part that I want to tell y'all about is air unblockables. If I'm on the ground and you are jumping at me, my normal will be air unblockable. You cannot block. Alco cannot block that. She can shield, but she cannot actually just block that. So you can set up situations because of that. You can set up a lot of situations because of that. Just because of that. That ground to air normals are unblockable. Yeah, that's a thing too. I think you're talking about this situation. Is that the situation you're talking about? Yeah, exactly. So every character's strings will be a little different in this game. How to set up these unblockable situations. Everybody's aerial block string is different. Like, Hisui and Kohaku's are different. Hisui probably has multiple. The one I like to use is Charge JCBA. It's very easy and something I can set up every single time. So if you were to block this JC in the air, you will always get air unblockable every single time. And you can set this up with different characters. So I'll show you. I'll show you with Koha. Could you show Noel's? I can try to show Noel's because I'm not sure about hers. Koha's would be JCB. Yeah, Warwick is super good at that. Warwick is like super good at it. So Koha is JCB. Everybody's is different though. Like, it'll definitely alter character to character, which you kind of want to do. I can try to do Noel's. Yeah, somebody else asked me to upload it to YouTube, so I will try to edit it down and add it. I'll try to edit it down. There we go. So hers is JAJAJAJB. So yeah, every character is, like I said, they're gonna be different. So you kind of want to just play around with that. Let's say I commit it. Something like that, right? Where my buttons just went through the character and I'm pretty much unsafe right there and I'm gonna get punished. There's options that I have. Some redacted tech. Shout outs to Scrawl. Scott found that out like early on in the game, like literally like probably week 1, where redacted became a thing where if somebody moon drives, you moon drive back. Since then we've come up with like mad ways to get around moon drive, but that was one of the early causes. So like if somebody were to do, I would do that. Like something like that, redacted, right? Super strong tech because you moon drive, I wait a little bit, I moon drive, but you can't wait too long. But you want to do it as late as possible, like that. You want to do it late, and then basically it's your turn, right? The situation is highly in your favor once you do that. But like I said, there are a couple things that have happened since then that we found a lot of tech, like where you don't necessarily have to do that, right? It's a lot of things. I thought you were -3 after moon drive though. Yeah, if they don't do anything, like if they do moon drive and you moon drive, it creates a whole different frame situation. Like if I go here and I wait on her wake up, I'm at advantage, right? Like she cannot hit a button. If she hits a button, she's gonna get hit. I can do that freely. What beats the armor on moon specials? On like, oh, you're talking about these on the moon skills? So with moon skills specifically, there's a couple of different ways to counter moon skills. Because you can always like shield moon skills because you're not able to shield back. If you shield a moon skill, they cannot shield you back. It's like guaranteed. Like that, right? That is a very common situation that will happen. Also, let's see if I can do it. You see that? You can actually jump cancel. Like if you like, let's say you clash with a 2A, you 2A clash or something, you can jump cancel out of that. Oops. You can always cancel your normals and jump cancel. Hoko's moon skills are pretty they're pretty good. Like they're not like the best, but they have very situational usages. Like you want to use them in like different situations. Like the one I'm doing is an anti-air. So when it comes down to moon drives, I mean moon skills, out of moon drive, they have those clash frame. However, outside of that, now in the update they're changing it, but I don't want to talk too much about the update until we get it, right? But they are going to alter moon skills a little bit with the whole clashing mechanic, but we're gonna keep it in this version. So because like I said, like when you clash with them, you can shield, you can jump cancel, you can shield. The best way to handle moon skills is gonna always be to shield them, and that is the threat. Like if your opponent is like super like they like to do a lot of moon skills, you just shield them. You just shield. Shield is gonna be your best friend in that situation to counter moon skills. Always shield them. If you can react, shield them. If you clash, same concept. You either moon drive or you jump cancel. That's gonna be like the way you're gonna get around stuff like that. Okay, so with Vlov, right? I'm gonna have Vlov moon drive on wake up. And I want to thank everybody for tuning into the stream. Thank you, Scroll, for the raid. This stream is built to help every player trying to get into Melty Blood. There are a lot of players that are talking about Melty, like, damn, this update is gonna like hit different. I want to play this game. This is for you. This is for you. Like if you want to play the game, this is the stream that you definitely want to tune into today, because we're just gonna recover, like we're gonna go over things that you might know, but there might be little things that you forgot, or there might be little things that you actually did not know. That is what we're trying to do. We're trying to help grow the community of Melty Blood. And guess what, they're coming out with new ranks in Melty Blood, so get hype about that. All right, so we got Vlog on do I have, okay, so watch this. So we're gonna make Vlog do during. You saw that whiff, right? Thanks, bro. A lot of content creators don't do stuff like this. Yeah, like I want to help the community grow. Like at the end of the day, this game is really fun. It's a good game, and it actually popped off at Evo. I think it was one of, if not the best grand finals at Evo. It's definitely top 3. It should be in your top 3 Evo grand finals this year. I definitely think it should be in your top 3 Evo grand finals this year, because that reset was actually insane. Hey Laney, thank you for that follow. Welcome to the stream. So you saw the 2A whiff. What are my options, right? I can redact. I can literally just moon drive right back and try to put Vlog in a situation. But there's also something cool you can do. If I do nothing, it is actually my turn. It's my turn. If Vlog mashes right there, I will hit Vlog every single time. When you moon drive, you are unsafe. So sometimes I appreciate the teaching stream. Hey, let's go. Thank you. Sometimes you actually do not want to press. When you feel like somebody's gonna moon drive, don't always pressure their wake up. I'm gonna show you a way to pressure their wake up safely, but don't always pressure their wake up. Sometimes wait. If you wait, you put them in a situation. Now, what I will say, Vlog might retaliate knowing that I'm waiting with a shield, but that adds layers to the cake. No pun intended. That adds layers. So it's okay that Vlog shielded you right there, because now you can open Vlog up with other things. So right here, right? If I wait, it's my turn every time. Every time. So Vlog can't hit a button. Vlog has to block right there. Has to block. So Vlog can mash a moon skill right there also, but like I just showed you previously, even if you were to hit a button, you could just jump cancel and you would still cook Vlov, or you could Moondrive. So it doesn't matter. It's your turn. Take your turn. If Vlov shields, that adds a whole nother RPS situation. But if Vlov blocks, you get a free Blockstring. So there is a way to keep your pressure where you do not have to wait. Because you might not want to wait, because if you wait, what if Vlov actually doesn't Moondrive? Now Vlov is mashing on your block and you are cooked by Ice Vlov. So is there a way to keep pressure while you still go in? Like, you don't bait. You just say, hey, I want to keep swinging. I don't want to bait this Moondrive. Yes, there is. Did you see that? Hey, PL, what is goody? Perfect Legend, the legend. It was nice seeing you, brother, at Evo. So what happened there, right? Active frame stream, active frames. If you have a move that's like super active, you can literally cook somebody for Moondriving and trying to mash. So active moves are really good. Okay, bet. Are you like gonna try to return to the game? It'd be nice to have you on this game for sure, for sure. Cause this game is cooking right now, PL. It's cooking. So now that we know this, look at that optimal stuff, right? They can't do anything about because you shielded it. And also, like, if you clash with, let me see if I can set this up. I might can set this up. Okay, perfect. I actually set it up. Watch this. That all was guaranteed. The moment you clash, you can actually cancel into a Moondrive of your own and shield the follow-up, and then you get a free combo every single time. So it's very risky doing moon skills in neutral. Like, some moon skills are like cracked. Like, this is cracked. Like, that's just a good move. But just in general, like, moon skills and Moondrive have hella counterplay. So there's a couple of things about that, right? You can shield heat. Now, would I want to just run up to somebody and hold shield? No. Especially not against better players, because that's very risky. However, there are other things that you could do. If you heat, you can actually see the burst, and then you can opt for a shield. Stuff like that, right? So heat, like I said, is going to be very common, but there's two different types of heat. Well, three, I guess. There's regular heat. There's a charged heat that they actually added in the update. So charged heat is for people that were doing the option select. So for people that do the option select, so I'm going to show you what the option select looks like, just so you can see it. That's what it looks like. They added force release charge. So anybody that didn't know, in the last update, they added a charged burst. So you would think, bro, why would they add a slower burst for this reason? For that reason right there. It's to deter players from using the option select. Because players would option select your wake up and you wouldn't get to play. And maybe Kamone thought that might be a little harsh, especially for newer players getting into the game, because you actually didn't get a turn. So they added force release charge, so you can actually charge it. So that will blow up the option select. You'll get a whiff penalty. So now, if you press a button, and then try to shield, you'll get whiff penalty. And whiff penalty you cannot hold the shield any longer. You're actually just cooked. Charge heat is also going to be low unshieldable in a few days because of the, yeah, you know what? That might be a good point. I didn't think about that. I wonder, does that count towards the charge, you know? Because yeah, technically it does. Yeah, it does. Good looking. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. So with that being said, right, there's a third type of heat. There's a guard cancel heat where somebody would basically burst on block. That's probably like the most common. It was mentioned specifically. Yeah, I gotta go back and read it. It's probably bits and pieces that I missed. All right, so guard. Let's make Blob guard. This one is a bad one. I know how I got to do it because it's gonna make it come out after the fact, and I don't want that. Oops. That was slot number 2. Let's do slot number 1. Slot number 3. This is very crucial to like doing it off a different slot so you can just practice. Immediate burst. Then for 4, we'll do a delayed burst. 5. Okay, so now I have 5 different recordings, right? I think I gotta do it random playback on. There we go. So now Vlov is bursting at these different timings, and I just don't know when Vlov is gonna burst, right? So I'm going to show y'all something that's very important. So go back to the first thing that I showed y'all about the rebeats and how important rebeating is, right? If you rebeat, you recover a lot sooner than you usually would if you rebeat with like a A. So let's say I'm not sure, right? I'm just unsure whether Vlov will burst or not. So I want to run up and I want to do 5C into 5A, just in case Vlov wants to burst immediately. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to go to slot. I'm gonna take this off for random. I want maybe slot number 1, immediate burst. Perfect. All right, so the moment I make contact with Vlov is gonna burst because he's like, hey, I see this 5C button, this heavy normal. I'm bursting, right? What can I do about that? What are my options? What happened there, right? That's what you're gonna ask yourself. What happened? All I did was I rebeat it to something that recovers a lot faster, and now I'm able to blow up heat. So if you feel like the person might burst, you just have like this read, like, damn, they might burst, but I don't want to use moon drive. I don't want to kill my offense trying to bait. I still want to pressure. This is what you do. So what's actually happening? Vlog is bursting, but I'm inputting a full string, mind you. I'm not like only doing CA. I'm doing CAB. That way, the reason why I'm doing CAB, right? I'm doing CAB because if Vlog blocks and doesn't actually even opt to burst, I'm still gonna get a block string out. So no matter what, I'm going to get a block string, no matter what. So this is what I'm inputting, because that way I can actually confirm, hey, Vlog did not burst, so I'm okay to continue my stream. However, this is burst safe. This part is burst safe. So if I ever go 5C5A, I can always bait that burst. This is like probably the most important thing I'm going to show you in this stream. But make sure, the most important part, make sure you add the rest of your strings, so in case they block, you are able to shield or continue your block string. Just like that. So this part is definitely something that's very important. Y'all, you cannot take the throw all day, right? We all know this from every fighting game. I think Street Fighter 5 was memed because it was like, take the throw, bro, you know, like just take it, right? Yeah, fuzzing and cross-ups definitely won't be in this beginner section, because that's definitely more like advanced. You can't always take the throw forever, but one thing I will tell you in Melty Blood, it is very good to take the throw because you have resources. If you have a bar, you can always burst. But not taking the throw, some of these characters will actually cook you for trying to throw tech. So anybody looking to get into Melty Blood, sometimes you are going to have to take that throw. So when you see Roa doing this, sometimes you're gonna have to take that. You're just gonna have to mix up your options, because if you opt to throw tech against this character, all these will cook you. And a lot of characters can bait just like this. Just like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you are not always throw teching in this game. Like, this game is one of those games where you do not want to always throw tech. But some characters can run up to you and backdash in place and get an overhead. Every character cannot do this because, like, Coma can, Roa can, Noelle can, but some characters cannot. Like Miyako cannot. So this is very character specific. So depending on what character you play, yeah, Shiki can. Shiki's is really good. Shiki's and Roa's is like the best in the game. Argue it can, but it's very hard to do. So it's almost not worth it unless you master it. It's like super hard to do. You see that? So argue it can with JA, but like I said, it's very hard. It's like super hard to do. So, like I said, take the throw. I can run through safe jumps. So like safe jumps will work generally how in fighting games, where you'll get a situation where you can jump, and if they uppercut, your button will not make contact with them. You'll block the uppercut. But if they block, you'll apply pressure, right? Very staple in fighting games in general. However, still very important in Type Lumina. Yo, try hard. Thank you for that follow. Very important in Type Lumina. Hisui has one of the easiest. Like that sequence right there is a safe jump. You are going to have to lab out your safe jump because every character's safe jump is going to be different. The situation that they're going to get is going to be a little different. So you see Miyako is forced to block, right? You see that, right? She's forced to block. So what if we put Miyako on uppercut? So I'm gonna show you something. Is a Roa one of the hard ones, like to safe jump with Roa? So I'm gonna show you with Miyako is gonna uppercut. So if I do anything fake, Miyako will uppercut that, right? So I'm gonna do something fake. Like let's say I do something like that, right? Completely fake. So I'm gonna want to do a safe jump so that situation doesn't matter. So you saw my button come out, but never make contact, right? Never make contact. So this safe jump for Hisui is specific to Hisui. You could just super jump in the corner and get an auto safe jump off of her air throw.